Bentonville just released some of its biggest news on their brand new 100-acre park in almost downtown central Bentonville. We talk about all the details today. So, let's talk about that. Hey everybody! If you don't know who I am, my name is Phillip Shepard. I'm a local real estate agent located right here in Northwest Arkansas. If you weren't aware, I actually was a real estate broker located in the dumpster fire, the horrible, the no good, burn it all down state of Illinois, also known as Chicago. The worst. Anyways, I was looking to move to the best place to live in America. I was looking at Huntsville, I was looking at Chattanooga, I was looking at Boise, Salt Lake City, Colorado, all the places you're probably looking at right now to move to, but I chose right here in Northwest Arkansas. By far the best place to live in America. By far. If you ever want to talk about why I chose Northwest Arkansas versus anywhere else in America, call me, let's meet for coffee, text me, we can talk on the phone. Whatever the case is, let's talk about why I chose Northwest Arkansas versus anywhere else in America. Period. And if you haven't been down to Northwest Arkansas quite yet, I made something called the NWA Starter Pack. Sounds exactly what it is. It's literally a starter pack full of all the cool things in Northwest Arkansas. What's going on in downtown Bentonville? What's in Fayetteville? What are the schools like? What are the hospitals like? All the burning questions you have about Northwest Arkansas, boop, 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 package, shipped right to your home, literally right to your home. Enter your name below, enter your address below, I'll make sure you get the package shipped to you right away. Also, side note, it does come with your first free mountain bike, so that's pretty cool. And I know what you're thinking. It is my favorite four-letter F word. Free! So enter your information below and make sure they get the package shipped to you right away. All right, so let's do a little bit of an intro before we jump into the core three things that are happening with this park. The first thing is that this park has been on the docket for some time now. It's going to be it's originally called the 8th Street Park, but then it kind of turns into the Gateway 8th Street Park, so they've added some words into it. But same place, it's going to be on the west side of Walton. I'll put like a map right here to show like where it's going to be located at. Anyways, it's going to be more centrally located to Bentonville proper, in a sense like not downtown Bentonville, but like the overarching sense of Bentonville in general. Because downtown Bentonville is not the center necessarily, it's more on the east side of Bentonville, but this park will actually be a huge connector point of Bentonville in general. We'll talk about it there in a little while. But it's going to be over 100 acres. It's been on the docket for a while, since 2021, 2020-ish. They've mentioned it, but they've been slowly adding additions to it, what they've been talking about. And actually, they finally had a big reveal of what all is happening in this actual park itself. So it's always been kind of vague because I think obviously they're putting pieces together, but they finally announced what all the different pieces of it coming together. And so we're covering all those today. And just know it's been in the while, so it's been worked on, but I'm glad they're actually finally releasing all the information. So let's start diving into it right now. And the first thing we need to talk about with this new 100-acre park happening in central Bentonville, also known as the 8th Street Park, is actually one of the core features I want to talk about majority of the time is the play section of this whole park. So they've broken this down into 3 different sections. They've broken it down, 4. They have play, connectivity, ecology, and then community. Obviously ecology is like the plant life there. So anyways, those 4 things. The first thing we need to talk about is the play section. My favorite thing. This thing is going to be a behemoth when it comes to fun and exciting stuff outdoors, which is all of Northwest Arkansas, but it just adds it to the mix. There's going to be a massive skate park there, which is just, I mean, I'm not a skater, but I know for people that have kids who want for their kids to spend time outdoors, whether it's, not necessarily playing video games, we can go outdoors and actually have a skate park. That is amazing, because a lot of times in cities, and I come from Chicago, so I understand this, that skate parks are not liked often in the actual city community, but it is nice to see cities embrace that because it is an outdoor activity that kids enjoy. It's more than just football fields or pickleball fields or basketball or volleyball. These are extracurricular sports that kids like to do. And of course, adults can be on the skate park as well. But it is nice to have a large skate park in Bentonville and coming. There is one up by Crystal Flats and a couple other spots, but this is a more major one covered in trees and more family-centric park in Bentonville. So the skate park, we're going to have something called the Porch, which is going to be kind of a hangout area, but there's going to be a lot of food vendors there, so excited for that. These are all renderings I can put up on the screen that they've released. We're also going to have a starter mountain biking area, which is good because obviously Bentonville is by far the mountain biking capital of the world, and there's a lot of amazing trails that are very extreme. There are some trails that are easier to learn on, but this is going to be a park designed really intentionally for just mountain bike starting. So little jumps, little this, little that. And so it is going to be a great place for you to practice those things before you jump into the more interesting and diverse parts of Bentonville mountain biking scene, to say the least. And overall, they're going to have a 1 acre playground in this actual park. Obviously, 100 acres is going to be plenty of space to play on, and trail systems, we'll talk about that in a second. But 1 acre dedicated to playground space, fantastic. And so yeah, that kind of covers a lot of the play sections between playgrounds, a spot called the porch for vendors, for food vendors, skate park, and starter mountain biking, the whole thing, plus other things as well from the play side. But let's move over to the second part here in a second, but that's kind of the core part of the play section. So let's talk about the second part, which is now the trails. And before we jump on to the next point, I have something brand new called Instant Home Updates. So maybe you're looking to move to the area and using things like Realtor.com, Zillow.com, or Redfin. Way too slow. Notifications? Way too slow. That's why I made something called Instant Home Updates. Sounds exactly what it is. It's like Instant Home Updates. So enter your information below: name, bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage. Where do you want to move to Northwest Arkansas? Let me know with all the information below. I'll make sure you don't miss a single notification when it comes for homes for sale or for rent, all in Northwest Arkansas. Also, side note, every single Friday I send an email out just kind of talking about all the cool things in Northwest Arkansas. What's going on in downtown Bentonville? What's going on in Fayetteville? What businesses are moving here? What's going on in downtown Rogers? What's going on over at the amphitheater? What's going on with the Razorbacks? What's going on over in Bella Vista? So many things all the time. All the time. Enter your email below. I'll make sure you get that email every single Friday, but something to be aware of, something to be cautious of. You will get a little fear of missing out, little FOMO, so to speak, but I promise you will be the most informed person at Benchie when you make your way down to Northwest Arkansas. And number 2, for this 100 acre park being developed in central Bentonville, is going to be the trail system is going to be so key to all of this. This is part of Bentonville's master plan for trail systems, which is obviously connecting to Kohler Preserve, Kohler Mountain, to downtown Bentonville, to South Bentonville, and eventually reaching over to Centerton, because that's been always in the docket, is that Centerton doesn't have a good trail system, and this is going to be a core part of it because it's getting very more near towards Centerton. So the trail system can be very diverse and very intentional, because it's supposed to go from 8th Street Market down to South Bentonville, all the way to East Bentonville, which is kind of like downtown Bentonville, essentially, over to Walmart HQ, the new one. And then we go north towards Bella Vista and cut through all those. So it's going to be all interconnected in between each other. So whether you live in on the east side, the west side of Bentonville, or the north side, or the south side, eventually all these trail systems are going to be connected in some fashion to 8th Street, and then reach over to the downtown section of Bentonville, or over to Walmart HQ. So regardless, eventually the end goal for all of this is, regardless of where you live in Bentonville, that all paths lead to a trail system, essentially. So this is just another core part of that, and you're going to be able to have all those trail systems built inside of this 100 acre park. And the third thing we need to talk about with this brand new 100 acre park being developed in central Bentonville is the ecology section of all of this. Now, what I mean by that is actually like the trees, the plants, the wildlife, etc. Which I know that Bentonville is big in this as well, because it's part of Northwest Arkansas, but Northwest Arkansas is very specific when it comes to how they design and maintain things. The reason being is because Arkansas is considered the natural state. It is the natural state, and we have plethora of trees and greenery and beauty here. So it would be silly for them to rip all this down and build it back up. They are keeping a lot of the plant life, the river life, the lake life, or the pond life, I should say, in this 100 acre park for people to kind of pass through. Like, one thing that's unique to Arkansas is that we respect nature in a lot of ways, obviously, natural state, and we also want to live amongst it and with it rather than tear it all down. So this acre park will not be a flat land of sand or mulch. It is going to be built within the tree structure, as well as the pathway structure, as well as the ecology section of the actual 100 acres itself. So not shocking, very common here in Northwest Arkansas. So that just makes sense for Bentonville to follow suit in that regard. And the fourth and final thing when it comes to this brand new 100 acre park to actual central Bentonville, and this is where I think we're starting to see the master plan for Bentonville. Downtown Bentonville is going to have its quilt of parks, which is the downtown section, and then about 4 or 5 other parks that actually connect to each other down there. On the west side of Bentonville, we're going to have the 8th Street Gateway Park, and then we're going to have Kohler Mountain and a bunch of others as well. But this is going to be a core feature of all of this, that no matter where you are in Bentonville, that there's a park, there's going to be a library, there's going to be mountain biking trails, and a bunch of other features. We're obviously have Osage near us as well. Osage Park, which kind of sits in the middle of Bentonville near Fayetteville Field. So regardless, no matter where you land in Bentonville and also parts of Centerton, there's going to be a place for community to hang out. And so not shocked that there's going to be obviously musical performances, there's going to be obviously food vendors, there's going to be actually community meetups and just cool things to do at these parks, because the city's going to facilitate them to actually show that community can be, not show, but community can be done in these parts of Bentonville. And so with having these different things, whether it's downtown, whether it's Osage, whether it's 8th Street, whether it's Kohler, whether it's up in like the actual Northern Trail system, regardless of all this, there's things going on in Bentonville that build community, that keep community, and grow community, which super jazzed for, because all of Northwest Arkansas is following suit, or also borrowing pages from Bentonville, or Bentonville's borrowing pages from Fayetteville, or Springdale's doing interesting things on Emma Street, so Bentonville's borrowing stuff from there. Pea Ridge is interesting. You know, the whole idea is that we're all borrowing pages from each other to make sure that this is continue to be the best place to live in America and only get better from here. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. Again, if you are thinking about coming down to Northwest Arkansas, download my 3-day itineraries linked below. Maybe you're an adventurer, maybe you're a sports person, maybe you're a foodie, maybe you're a sightseer, maybe you have kids, whatever it is. There's a 3-day itinerary linked down below for you, so go ahead and download it and use it to get down here. Also, when you do come down here, I can give you a $10 tour so I can kind of show you around the whole area. Plus, we can check out some homes for sale or for rent and see how far your dollar will go in Northwest Arkansas compared to where you're coming from. All right, guys, I'll see you next one.